Welcome to another edition of Helmets Off. I'm your host, Scott Mitchell. Helmets Off is now on, and so is that great debate for who is the greatest of all time, or at least who's the best quarterback playing in professional football today. Well, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady were able to go head-to-head last night, and of course that means if you go head-to-head, whoever is the winner is actually the better player. Well, Tom Brady won again. And so now everyone's like, see, there's no discussion here. There's no debate. Tom Brady is the man. And you know what? Tom Brady, in his circumstance, is the man. But so is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the man, too. Here's the thing about this whole debate that drives me crazy. Like, who is actually the better player? And it's like comparing apples to oranges. It's not the same debate. I can give you so many examples of players throughout the history of the NFL who, had they been in different circumstances, they may not have been as good as they were. First one that comes to mind, of course, is Steve Young. Steve Young was drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he was not good at all, and neither were the Bucs. And he took a back seat to a guy named Joe Montana, sat on the bench, learned the craft of being a true professional quarterback, and of course went on to a Hall of Fame career with the San Francisco 49ers. I played with a guy who was, I think, one of the greatest throwers of all time in Dan Marino. He was phenomenal. I saw it up close and personal for 4 years. Watched him in practice, watched him in meetings, watched him in games. He was as good as anyone has ever been. Phenomenal. He was so good. Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl. Does that mean he's a bad guy? Aaron Rodgers has only won 1 Super Bowl, but you watch him play year in and year out, and he performs well. What about Drew Brees? Drew Brees has now gone on to, be the, he's going to hold every passing record by the time he retires, and someone will come along in a few years and break that record. Or maybe a guy like Matthew Stafford, who talent-wise is incredible. I mean, amazing how good he is talent-wise, but just never has seemed to quite get over the hump. Is it his fault? Is he a bad player? Is he a bad talent? Does he not have the mental toughness like Tom Brady? No. The reality in all of this, and we all need to stop this, is all of these players are in unique circumstances. I really believe if Tom Brady was in Green Bay, he'd probably have a similar record that Aaron Rodgers has. And I would believe that if Aaron Rodgers was in New England, he'd probably be more like Tom Brady. Who knows, he may even be better than Tom Brady if he's in New England. He may even be worse. You don't know what external factors play into the success of a player. Not only the factors, but players have strengths and weaknesses. There are things they do very well. And if you have a system, you have a coach, you have continuity that fits your style, you're going to do very well. Dan Marino had the same system his entire career. It never changed. He had the same coach. And he knew that offense so well, so intimately, like the back of his hand. He could do it in his sleep if he wanted to. And so many of these players that have kind of had that consistent success have had that one coach. You look at a guy like Matthew Stafford, he's had a lot of different systems, a lot of different coaches. And you want to be a good team player, so you try to work the system that they bring in, and sometimes it works well with your strengths, and sometimes it doesn't. But it's really hard when you don't have that continuity. Peyton Manning, he had the same system his entire career. In fact, he took that system with him when he went to the Denver Broncos. And there's so much that goes into it. And so really, the bottom line for me, I'm just telling you, bottom line is if you can line up and play quarterback in the National Football League and have success at it, you're a pretty good player. And there's some extenuating circumstances that might change the success you have or the failure. And a lot of times that's kind of out of your control. But to say one guy is greater over another guy probably isn't really a genuine statement, or even accurate for that matter. There's no way to really compare. I know it's fun. It's great barbershop talk, who's the greatest of them all, kind of thing. And it's fun banter for people that like sports. But the reality is no one really knows, or you can't really tell with any absolute certainty, because it's just, you're not comparing apples to apples. All right, Helmets Off is now off. You can text Helmets to 65537. Go to those social sites and like us, dial us in on your smartphone, And by all means, go out and enjoy sports because they're fun to watch, and it's great, and it's a wonderful part of our society. Till then, we'll catch you soon.